let's go. So pretty much here, going 50, this is where I really feel its mechanical limit right now on grip. I don't really want to push it more than 52, 53. Yeah, that's pretty much where I would cap it at. Hey there everyone, welcome to another episode of DM Car Reviews. I guess you already know what we're driving today. That's right, it's a 2024 Audi S5 Sportback Premium Plus, but this is not your regular S5. This one actually does not have Napa, which 98% of them do today, and this one does not have the sports package. So we'll see what kind of difference that makes in our driving. And this is also the Cronus Gray. I have not had any Cronus Gray S5s on my channel yet. And of course, before we start this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Brian over at Audi Bethesda in Bethesda, Maryland for providing me this S5 today. Seriously, they have the best customer service in the whole East Coast, and you'll get an incredible deal if you stop by their store. And you will see all his information in the right hand corner side of the screen. So if you're on the market for an Audi, give it a shot. Check out Audi Bethesda, you'll be impressed. But let's look at the window sticker. So this one right here has the Premium Plus package, which gives us the 360 camera, the wireless phone pad, Bang & Olufsen system, the Audi virtual cockpit, black optics package, and Audi S-Beam, Audi guard protection kit. And it comes in at $64,600. And this month, there's actually a lot of incentives on this car. So you can get one for a very, very, very attractive price. Definitely way cheaper than the competition. And the nice part is, I wish this car had the navigation package, but that's okay. But I think the best part is that it doesn't have the Napa. It has my favorite material right here. I actually had the same material in my 2021 Audi S5 Sportback in turbo blue. And seriously, this is way better than Napa in my opinion. But anyways, let's fire up this beautiful, amazing S5 and go take a look outside. See how she looks like. Seriously, what a gorgeous car. The lines, the proportions, I mean, everything in this car I think is perfect, including the wheels. And these are definitely my favorite Audi wheels on this specific model. But every single one of these that I've driven with these wheels has been with the sport package, the adaptive steering. So I'm super curious to try this S5, see how does it differ from the other ones. We have these acute headlights and the black roof. I think that is a beautiful touch. Black mirrors, black grille, black lip. Everything here is done with taste. And the favorite part is probably the olive color. It's not even like a gray, it's a mix of gray and green, and it resembles literally an olive. So it's a very soothing, natural color. But let's take a look at the rear seat. Let's throw that down there. And let's hop in the back. So I'm 6'2", and I gotta say, it feels wonderful to be in the back of this S5. There's tons of headroom for my height. The seats are very welcoming. They hug you from the back and you feel just right at home. Seriously, one of the best rear seats that I've ever been in any car. These are also far more spacious than anything you will find in the competition, and there's definitely way more space than in the M440i compared to this S5. We also have the black headliner. Let's adjust the headrest. We got our cup holders here and here. some more storage. And unlike many other cars nowadays, this actually comes with the rear climate system as well. Regular USBs and a power outlet. Audi really knocked it out of the park when they did these seats, which is the shape of them, the contours. And if the kids kick, it's not gonna damage the seat. We got soft touch materials everywhere, the carbon fiber, a hook, everything is good, nice to touch. We got the Bang & Olufsen, and I love the Alcantara suede material here on the doors. One thing as a former Audi owner, I have to tell you, you have to watch out for the paint. The paint here on these cars is very soft, so if rocks hit it, it will chip it. Get this car PPF wrapped. We got a large, spacious, and very generous trunk. You can fit quite a lot of stuff here. We got the floor mats, and it's also an automatic liftgate. The quad black exhausts really finish the back of this car, add some window tints, and you're seriously rocking a gorgeous car. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is the frameless doors. They may freeze up in the winter times during the snowy days, so watch out for that. But just listen to the way this door opens and how it closes. It's such a good, rich sound. Seriously, you can make an ASMR video just from the Audi sounds. But let's check out the engine bay now. You got the dee-deen, dee-deen, dee-deen. Ugh, I love that sound. All right, so here we got Audi's famous V6 3.0T that pumps out 349 horsepower and 369 feet-pound of torque. But let me tell you something. It's probably over 400 on the torque, because the torque levels in this car are incredible. Just the way it pulls from the low to mid-range is mind-blowing for 349 horsepower and 369 torque. Definitely has more than that, and definitely more than 349 horsepower. We also have the, I don't know if this one has the Night S-Beam, but some of them do. And here we have the cabin. Everything here is top-notch quality, great materials. We got the massage, the inflatable, deflatable side bolsters. And these seats are really comfy and sporty, but they will over time exhaust you on longer drives. I've personally encountered that, but I didn't know that you could actually loosen up the bolsters on the side, and maybe that was an issue. That's why I came into that issue. So beside that, again, it's a gorgeous cabin. Some people will say it's outdated. I'm gonna say it's just classic. It's traditional. It's a great style. A lot of people don't like this tablet. I think it's a great tablet. It doesn't block your field of view. And we have the famous Audi virtual cockpit. A lot of useful cubbies in here. This is perfect. So you can put a very big phone like a Galaxy S21. You can put it here, and you can put an iPhone here. And look at that, everything fits. We can also fit a draggy, a race box, all under one armrest. And it's an adjustable armrest, so you can adjust the height, how far it slides out. It's perfect. Every touch here is good, like everything that they did in this car. Also, the shade is a little bit see-through, so on sunny days you may get a little bit of the sun, but it does kind of add to the experience in this car. Frameless, stylish, mirror with a compass. What more could you ask for? This unfortunately doesn't have the navigation. I highly encourage everybody to get the navigation package because it just brightens up the whole virtual cockpit. We got our driver assistance systems, adaptive cruise control, distance warning, traffic jam assist, the auto braking, the blind spot, and the Audi active lane assist, which I always turn off because I don't like it. I just don't like lane assists in any car. We got physical, easy to use dials for our climates. As you can see, they light up for anywhere we move our finger. We got the auto start stop, 360 camera. So the camera quality, I have mixed feelings about it. It does seem sometimes a little bit to the distorted side, like when you see like these distortions here. And this graphic here could be, I guess, more advanced compared to like BMW or Mercedes. But still, does the job well. You can see everything. So again, no problem. If you go for the Prestige, you get the auto park and you get the heads-up display. Do you really need it? I don't know. And you get the ambient lighting, which I love, and the headlight animation. So if I was getting this car, I would go Prestige, no sport package, and the cloth here, the suede. They call it the Dynamica suede, I think. That's what I would go for. We also got this sound knob here, some more storage. All right, so I guess we've covered the main part. We got a heated steering wheel. And listen how every click here sounds. It's pronounced, it's detailed. Soft touch materials everywhere. The steering wheel here is to the thinner side, but it's still very comfortable to hold. It's definitely less thick than the BMW steering wheel, and it feels nice regardless. It does have a little bit harder stitching here, so you can like really rub your finger. But beside that, it's great. Like, I love it. Let's do a windshield wiper test. Horn test. All right, we got everything set up. Now we don't have the auto hold that they have in Europe here, so that's the poverty button, e-brake. And another cool part is if you have your shifter like this and you want to like turn off the car, it goes right back. How neat is that? Even the shifter click, it was great. Great high quality material here too, so Audi nailed that. You can also turn off your screen if you want to clean it. So this car does not have a mild hybrid or anything like that, so it's a simpler design compared to the competition, and I would definitely take this over a C43 any day. I think it's a way nicer ride with a real engine, a great sound. We got 4 different driving modes: comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. So this car is so aggressively tuned in comfort and so zippy that the only thing that sport really does is just make your exhaust louder. That's all it really does. Because here, you're just pressing the gas a little bit and you're already flying. Oof. And so far, I gotta say, the ride here feels way better than the ride with the sport package. I like it way more, personally. Oh yeah. The handling is instant, it's secure. Let's check out the U-turn radius. Look at this. Solid. There's a lot of torque coming from this engine.
Front. Mute memory.
The blinker click is like, it's, I don't know, just everything about this car, how they made it, it's just every touch feels so nice. The blinker sound, the way it just kicks you in, oof. It's impressive. I'll be honest, it's very impressive. Well, we're gonna stay in comfort for some more time. I just want to enjoy the drive for now. We're going to definitely go into dynamic mode later on when we do our acceleration tests and head back through the freeway. We're definitely gonna try the dynamic mode. But so far, compared to all the S5s that I've driven that had the sport package, this feels much nicer. It's much calmer, and the ride is more refined. Also the mid-range and the low, like the low range and the mid-range here on this car are stellar. You only need to apply maybe 10-15% throttle to get going. You don't even have to press the gas much. Like, you want to pass somebody, tip it in a little bit, and that's it. You don't have to even apply any like effort to pass people. And once this S5 hits the boost. You can feel it when you start to really ease into the throttle. You feel the car building boost and you add some more throttle. I'll demonstrate that. It just zips.
Mute memory.
But let's get her into dynamic. We got some good real crackles and pops. Pa 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 pa. Oh yes. It's so easy to control this S5. It's predictable. The center feels good. Now the steering here is a little bit to the lighter side, but it's very informative. You know exactly what you're doing, and I get this feeling from it like it claws onto the road. Like every Quattro of this design that I've driven kind of just claws into the road. And that's it. You see, like effortless. I don't even have to apply much gas to get going. That's how good this powertrain is. Now, in a lot of the competitors, if you're in comfort mode, you really have to work to get the power. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe not for some people. But here, if you're in comfort mode and you press the gas a little bit, you're flying. But let's do some acceleration tests next and see how quick this S5 is. All right, let's do our first acceleration test. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alrighty, excellent. So we did 5.47 seconds. 0 to 60 and 9.18 miles per hour on the 1/8 mile. And let's see what we got by draggy. So by draggy we got 0 to 60 in 5.54, close enough. 0 to 62 in 5.79, and the 1/8 mile at 8.93 at 84.33. So let's try one more time on the way back, and then we will wrap up our performance testing. All right, we're also gonna keep that off.
Red light camera.
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Great kick. I love how it kicks in. 5.6. Okay, there we have it. So 5.6 seconds by Racebox, and we're gonna also check our draggy stats as well. See what we got. So by draggy we got 0 to 60 in 5.62 seconds, almost like here. 5.9 to 100 kilometers an hour, and the 1/8 mile at 8.97, 82.54, which is on very close to here. But remember, the Racebox does not include the the Racebox includes the 0.2 or 0.3 1-foot rollout. So it actually gives you the true standing quarter mile time versus how draggy does it. But let's see what we got on our trap speed by Racebox. So here it's 82.54, and here it's 83.7. Great. After doing some extensive performance testing on this S5, I will upload the Racebox and draggy screenshots right here in the video so you can see for yourself what this vehicle is capable of and what to expect as far as the times go. The first run was done from idle with the vehicle set to its dynamic mode and traction control set to sport. The first run came in at 5.45 seconds 0 to 60 by draggy and 5.43 seconds by Racebox, with a corrected time of 5.66 when the slope was taken into account. The quarter mile by Draghi was achieved in 13.44 seconds at 106.99 miles per hour, and by Racebox it was achieved at 13.74 seconds at 107.91 miles per hour. With the vehicle in its launch control mode and Ajax shifts, it completed the 0 to 60 miles per hour by Draghi in 4.54 seconds, and the time by Racebox came out to 4.6 seconds with a corrected time of 4.77 seconds with the slope taken into account. From launch control, the vehicle completed the standing quarter mile, according to Draghi, in 12.87 seconds with a trap speed of 107.34 miles per hour, and by Racebox, the vehicle completed the standing quarter mile in 13.06 seconds with a trap speed of 108.12 miles per hour. As far as the additional times, the 100 to 160 kilometer time came out to 6.07 seconds by Racebox and 6.12 seconds by Draghi. Another discipline that I was able to incorporate here was the 100 to 200 time, which came out to 12.8 seconds by Racebox with a corrected time of 13.82 seconds when the slope was taken into account. That same time was 12.82 seconds by Draghi. Well, so far I gotta say this car really has phenomenal performance. It's definitely heavier with the 20-inch wheels and being a Sportback versus the 19-inch wheels, but it's not a major difference, maybe like a couple of tenths. This also is heavier than the S4, so again, almost 200 pounds, but that is also a couple tenths. Nevertheless, very impressive. This car can for sure move. Let's see how she takes this corner. This one is definitely a tricky one. Yeah, this one is tricky. So pretty much here, going 50, this is where I really feel its mechanical limit right now on grip. I don't really want to push it more than 52, 53. Yeah, that's pretty much where I would cap it at. All right. Well, let's go back into comfort now and just enjoy the smooth drive. So the handling here is good, safe and secure, but 52, 53 is about its safe limit on the turn. I think that is actually very comparable to the Alfa Romeo Giulia that I've driven. I think it was also about the low 50s. I'd have to check on that turn. Usually that turn is a great indicator of how the car performs into the turns. It's a perfect road for that. Now, talking about the highway ride, it's great. It's very comfortable. It's very smooth. I gotta say, it's a great experience. Let's turn on some massage. Oh yeah, yes.
Front K-band.
Yes, I can feel it going right down my lumbar. Oh yeah, I love it. Cabin is quiet. Insulation is very good. Yeah, you can feel it working. And you can hear it deflate. Now, for those wondering why my radar is going off constantly on K-band, is because I have it set to maximum sensitivity and it reacts to the car's blind spot systems and electronic door openers. And that's why, luckily, we have the mute memory button where we can just store all the false alerts so they don't repeat themselves. Great visibility, impressive. And we just, see, there was a car in my blind zone and it warned me. Although I genuinely could not see him for all that time. Magnificent ride. Now, I would say, if for those of you who are wondering, should you get the RS5 or should you skip on it, I honestly would skip on the RS5. Just get this, put a stage 1 tune on it and enjoy it. It's so much more pleasing than an RS5. Just the way it sounds, the way it rides, and skip out on the sport package. The ride without the sport package is a million times better. I don't know why, but it just is. I guess it's due to the suspension settings. In handling, I didn't really see any difference between the handling, like, in all honesty, between the one with the sport package or without. To me, they both handle very well. And they're safe, secure, grippy, exactly as you'd want them to be. Also, I've noticed that Audi probably uses cabin filters which have some kind of secret deodorant to them, because every Audi smells the same when you turn on the AC. It's like some kind of very distinct smell, and it's a really good smell. Like, I just want to breathe it in. It's so good. Now, one thing that does stand out to me personally is I've been driving crossovers for almost, the past 3 years. I've had, I've also had a X5 V8, so I'm kind of used to sitting up higher now, and sitting low to the ground feels very unusual to me, especially on longer hauls like this. But it's also a good feeling in its own way. Although I do like sitting up higher, I will be honest. Some of you will agree with you. Some of you will agree with me. Some will disagree, saying, true car enthusiasts like lower cars. No, it's not what true car enthusiasts like. It's what you like. If you like sitting higher, you sit higher. And honestly, the handling difference, I haven't really noticed any. A properly set up BMW M SUV is gonna handle just as good, if not better, than like this car. So ride height, I guess, matters to an extent, but with the right suspension settings and the right setup, you're not gonna notice any difference. I think today's test drive has been by far the most extensive Audi S5 test drive that I've ever filmed before. I think I've covered pretty much upon everything at this point. The only things that I also would like to mention is that this plastic here, like this gloss black, I would suggest wrapping it in PPF because it may get scratched up pretty easily. Just speaking from ownership experience. Get the paint protection film and get this wrapped. Also, one more spot that I didn't touch upon was the audio system. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you, otherwise YouTube will copyright me for music. But it's a pretty good audio system, although I wish it was deeper sounding. Nevertheless, it's a good system. Wind noise at speeds like this is pretty good, but because of the frameless windows, we do hear some more wind coming in versus like the Q7 or the other models without the frameless windows. Also, sport seats. If you think that you will get tired in these seats and you have a larger body figure, wider shoulders, you may want to consider the ventilated comfort seats that the S5 offers. They come with ventilation and they're wider and more comfortable for longer drives. If per se you're taking a lot of hauls, like from one state to another state, you may want to look at those seats instead of the sport seats, because these will fit a certain type of person, like skinnier, anywhere from like 5'7" to 6'3", maybe 6, yeah, probably 6'3". And seriously, I really dig the new 5 Series. I don't know why people don't like it. It's gorgeous. But anyway, back to the topic of seats. Yeah, so if you're a wider person with a larger weight and pretty tall, I would say go for the comfort seats. If you want a sportier experience, keep these seats, and definitely stick to the suede because it does a way better job of keeping you in the seat versus the Napa. I'm not a fan of the Napa, to be honest. It wears out quickly. You see a lot of signs of wear on it over like a year or two. It starts bending everywhere. Don't do it. Get to the suede. It will keep its shape way better over age and miles. Also, suspension stiffness over bigger bumps is noticeable on these wheels. Get the rim protection package. You will need it. If there are potholes and you drive into one, your tire's done. Or go for the 19s. Skip on the black optics, stick with the 19-inch. That way you get a little better performance. I feel like maybe a 10th or even better, because again, they weigh less and the car rides better on them. But this rides great. I've truly enjoyed this experience today with this car. It drives wonderful. What else did I not mention today in this test drive? Yeah, the Prestige. I'm not a big fan of Audi's heads-up displays. Just not my cup of tea. They're not bad, but I'm much more into BMW heads-up displays personally. I just feel like they're much more informative and they look cooler. So I would personally probably skip on that. So I think the Premium Plus is the sweeter trim. But if you want the ambient lighting and you want the self-park, you go for the Prestige. And that's what I would probably choose. Now, as far as color options, this is definitely my favorite color for this car. The red and probably would be my second choice, and the black would be my third, because it does heat up a lot in the summertime. This suede right here doesn't heat up in the summer, and it's not cold in the winter. So you get best of both worlds. And get the navigation package too. Now, what else should I add? What else have I not covered today? Let's think. I think that pretty much covers everything about the S5. Now, as far as the competition, definitely take this over the C43 any day, just because of the V6 and the nice seats with massage. But if you want a sportier driving experience and you actually really want to throw the car into turns and get even more performance, then the M440i Grand Coupe will be the option for you. One thing to note is it does have a tighter rear seat with less headroom and a little bit less legroom, so it's not as comfy in the back for the passengers as this car. This car will be comfier, and this car is a great balance between just secure handling and comfort. But the M440i, of course, will be faster by the numbers, at least. Not from just like a normal feel or perception, it's just by the numbers. Because when I was driving this on the freeway, this felt like a rocket. There's so much torque everywhere. Very great car. It's incredibly good. So I would definitely say you can stick with that. It also has the adaptive cruise control. Now, the advantages of the BMW will be that you get a more modern and upscale touchscreen with a very cool 3D camera. You get advanced self-parking, you get a nice heads-up display, and just the balance, the chassis balance of the 4 Series is remarkable. Now, this car just does everything well. It's comfortable, it's refined, it's smooth, and it's very easy to live with. Whether you're in a cold climate, well, beside the frameless windows, but whether you're facing snow, rain, Quattro will let you use all its power even in the rain, whereas the xDrive system and the 4MATIC will be a little bit more reserved from my personal experience. xDrive, for example, will not go like 100% in the rain. It will kind of like hold itself just a little bit back, just for safety purposes, because it does, BMW doesn't want you to spin out and crash. Now, Quattro is just such a grippy system. The car grips to the road and just like claws into it, which allows you to enjoy great stability and traction even in bad weather conditions, such as like a rainy day. And I love the physical dials. I love the physical buttons. It's very easy to use. Second grader can figure it out without a problem. But to summarize our test drive, I've loved driving this S5. Seriously, I can film tons more reviews of this car, and every single time I'm gonna just have such a fun time with this vehicle. What a fun, easy to drive car. I highly recommend you look into one with all the incentives going on. Definitely compare it with the alternatives. Again, I would pass on the C43, but the M440i Grand Coupe and the S5 are definitely the top 2 vehicles in this segment. CT5V or the CT5 3.0T, not bad. I would probably skip on it too. Definitely these 2 cars deserve the top 2 places. Which one works better for you is solely up to you to determine. I cannot speak for everyone, I can only speak for myself. So it's going to be up to you folks what you prefer, the BMW or the Audi. Drive them both, see what you like. BMW is more sports oriented. This is just more like a grand touring car. Just that does everything well. So all up to you. But make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And till next time.